Have you ever felt like we're all just a little lost? Well, today we're diving into a powerful idea from astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson that might just change how you see everything. It's called the cosmic perspective. And to kick things off, let's look at a single number that really shows the challenge we're up against. 80%. So what's that about? Well, according to some surveys Neil deGrasse Tyson often talks about, that's the percentage of Gen Z who believe in astrology. Now, for Tyson, this isn't just some harmless trend. He sees it as a sign of something much, much bigger.
And to be clear, he's not really knocking the belief itself. What worries him is what it represents. This idea that our lives are controlled by forces completely outside of ourselves, like where the planets were when we were born. He thinks this way of thinking is a symptom of a much larger problem for our society, a real crisis of belief that makes us super vulnerable to division.
And that brings us right to the heart of the issue, what he calls a crisis of belief, one that he says leads directly to a crisis of division. He basically argues that our default setting is, well, it's tribalism. It's like we're just hardwired to find reasons, any reason, to separate ourselves into groups. And that, of course, leads to conflict over things that, when you really zoom out, are kind of meaningless. I mean, just look at this list. Skin color, religion, what language you speak, even what you eat. Tyson points out that we use this endless list of labels to draw lines in the sand, creating all this friction and war when we should be looking for common ground. These are the battle lines drawn by a species that's totally forgotten the big picture. So what's the solution? What's the antidote to all this tribal thinking? Well, Tyson says it's not some new law or a treaty. It's a huge shift in how we see things. It's about stepping back, like way, way back, and seeing our world not as a messy map of divisions, but as one single, fragile home floating in the silence of space. This quote right here, it just captures that feeling perfectly. When you're looking down from orbit, all those lines we fight and die over, they just dissolve. The borders, the flags, all the conflicts, poof, they're gone. And what's left is just this beautiful, silent, living planet. Let's just put it side by side. The tribal view, right? It's obsessed with drawing lines, creating an us versus them. But the cosmic view? It sees a fragile planet. It sees a shared humanity. It reminds us that the things we have in common are so, so much bigger than our tiny little differences. And get this isn't just some feel-good philosophical idea. The cosmic perspective is grounded in some seriously profound science. The truth is, we are, quite literally, made of stardust. Okay, so let's break it down. Think about the most common ingredients in the entire universe. You got hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, and nitrogen. Now, what about in the human body? Well, what do you know? It's the exact same list. We're not just living in the universe, we are a perfect chemical mirror of the universe. Every single heavy element in your body, the iron pumping through your veins, the calcium in your bones, it was all cooked up in the heart of a giant star that lived and died billions of years ago. It exploded, scattering all that good stuff across the galaxy. So we're not just connected to the cosmos, we are the cosmos, having a human experience. And that connection, it's not just to the stars out there. It's to every single living thing right here on Earth. And this next number is going to make that connection, well, shockingly real. Yep, a banana. You share about 1/5 of your DNA with that piece of fruit on your counter. I mean, just sit with that for a second. It's this wild, humbling reminder that we all share a common biological blueprint connecting us to the entire tree of life on this planet. And it gets even more intimate than that. Think about the very air you're breathing in right now. The science is pretty straightforward. The atmosphere is always mixing. So what does that mean? It means that with every single breath you take, you are inhaling atoms that were once breathed by literally everyone who has ever lived. Julius Caesar, Cleopatra, your own ancestors. We are physically connected across all of human history. Okay, so if we are this deeply connected to everything and everyone, part of a cosmic story that's billions of years old, what does it all mean? How do we find any purpose in one short life? Well, for Tyson, the answer isn't about finding meaning. It's about creating it. This is it, right? The big, scary, existential question. If we're all going to die, does anything we do actually matter? Tyson's answer is a huge yes, but the way he gets there, it flips the whole question on its head. He actually argues that if we lived forever, life would be meaningless. I mean, think about it. If you had an infinite amount of time, why would you ever get around to doing anything? He says it's the very fact that we know we're going to die that gives our actions weight and urgency and ultimately meaning. This is the quote that Neil deGrasse Tyson has said he wants on his tombstone. It's from the educator Horace Mann, and Mann, talk about a call to action. It's this powerful idea: don't just exist, contribute. Do something to leave the world a little bit better than you found it. That, he says, is how you create a meaningful life. So let's pull all these threads together. When we really embrace this cosmic perspective, how does it actually change how we see ourselves and our role in the universe? And this, right here, is the ultimate payoff. Adopting the cosmic perspective doesn't make you feel small or insignificant. It does the exact opposite. When you realize that the universe is literally inside you, you realize you're not just an observer, you're a participant in this grand, unfolding story. We're not small, we're large, we're connected to everything. Which brings us to this final question. It's Tyson's personal mission, but he's really turning it around and asking every single one of us. It's a challenge, right? To think beyond our own small worlds and to add something meaningful to the larger human story. In the end, the message is actually pretty simple. Look up at the night sky. Feel large. Embrace that you are part of this incredible cosmic dance. And in doing so, maybe, just maybe, we can all find a deeper, more connected way to live.